giving me this opportunity to interact with all the participants in this course. Secondly, namaste to all the participants who have joined this session. As Dr. Rafe has already told you, the title of my topic is use of ICT in education. I'll discuss certain points related to the topic. But before that, I would like to share a very important message to all the teacher participants who are present here. The aim of sharing this message is that we are, or a teacher plays a very important role when it comes to imparting education or instructions to the youngsters, because we are looking at these youngsters as the future of our country, Bharat. And as a part of that, we need to be the motivators. Am I audible to you properly? Faruqi sir? Yes, okay. 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 Thank you. Because we have to motivate these youngsters, because we are looking towards them as the future of our country. And as a part of that, every time, every moment, we need to motivate these youngsters, because these youngsters are very creative. Even you might have seen among your students, this generation is very creative. As a part of that mission, I'll share a very simple message with all of you, and then we will start with the actual stuff. Just let me share that small message or that PPT with you people. The message is no pain, no gain. And everybody knows that unless we work very hard, we are unable to achieve our target, or we may not be rewarded. And as a part of that, everybody has to work very hard. So this is a very short story I'm going to share with you. Here we have a few people, 5 or 6 people are there who are the part of some competition or some kind of mission. You are able to see here on your screen that they are carrying a wooden cross. All the 5 participants, they are carrying a wooden cross on their shoulders. So everybody is energized, motivated, because they want to achieve their target. Some, or as there are 5 people, 5 participants, we can say that these 5 participants reflect 5 different psychologies, 5 different attitudes. 5, they may have 5 different strategies. Everybody may have a different strategy there. So after some time, we can see that this is our hero. Remember this man who is wearing yellow shirt and green pant. He is our hero. So this fellow is also carrying a cross with him. After some time, he is tired, and that's why, see, when we are in trouble, we remember the Lord, we remember the God. Similarly, this fellow also remembers the God or Lord. He says, it's too heavy, please cut it down a little. Cut it down a little. So he gets the hacksaw and he cuts it down a little. Thoda sa wo cut kar leta hai usko. Then finally, see, you can see he has cut it down, and then again he started carrying that cross. This time he's a little bit happier, because you can see some kind of sign here. He's singing some kind of song, and he's now more comfortable, we can say. And see, now he is at, let us say, second or third position in that competition. Hmm? So because he has cut down that wooden cross, after some time, again he feels that if he'll cut it more, then it will be convenient for him to carry it in a better way, or quickly, you can say. So once again, he cuts it down and then he proceeds. He doesn't forget to thank the God. Actually, there is no role of God here, but he still says that, thank you, my Lord, thank you, God. And now he is at the first position. And that is quite natural, na? Because his cross is a bit lighter than the others, and that's why he is at the first position. He's very happy now. Then, after some time, he comes across this location. Now, you might have got that he wanted to adapt some shortcut, and these shortcuts are always dangerous in the life, any kind of life. It may be academic life, it may be a real life, because it is said that shortcuts or shortcut cut cuts short the life. It may cut short the life. That's why the shortcuts are always dangerous, and that is why we need to be careful when we want to go for any kind of shortcut. Next, you can see the slide. All other participants reach that location, and this fellow is still waiting there because he had cut down that cross twice, not a single time. It was twice, and that's why he was unable to cross that location, or you can say it's a small valley. He's unable to cross it just because of the shortcut he has adopted there. So he repents. Obviously, he repents there. वो बंदा जो है वो पछताता है वहां पे कि मैंने ऐसा क्यों किया. Why did I adapt that shortcut? So now he is a loser. Earlier he was thinking that he will be a winner very soon, but now he is a loser. So he has no option there. So such people may be the losers in their life, professional life, academic life, real life, whatever it can be, whatever may be the situation. And that is why we should be ready to accept the pain so that our future will be fruitful. We will be able to achieve all the targets, the desired targets in our life. So that was a very short message I wanted to share with you, because all of you are the motivators, and you need to motivate your young students, young learners. And that was the purpose behind sharing this simple and short message. Now we can start with the actual stuff or the session for the day. As Dr. Rafe has told you, the title of my topic is Use of ICT in Education. So, just a minute. Yeah. I hope it is visible to all. Yeah, is it visible? Is my screen visible to all? Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, good. So first of all, right now we are uh, talking about continuously. We are talking about NEP 2020. We are talking about so many things, especially during the right from the pandemic. Right from the pandemic, we you may say we are compelled. You may say we are compelled to adapt some technology, because the situation during the pandemic was like we had to sit there at our home, and then we have to deliver the sessions. And that is why we had to adapt this technology, and with the help of that technology, we could continue our teaching learning process in a better manner, we can say, because something is better than nothing. Means we could deliver the instructions to the students, to the learners, and that's why we can say that we were not, that time couldn't stop us. It couldn't stop us. So, as everybody knows that the technology plays a very important role in any kind of teaching learning. At many places, your classrooms may be well equipped with technology, different teaching learning aids. So we see that it plays a very vital role there. So this ICT, let me quickly tell you about ICT because some of you may not be aware of it, those who do not belong to the technical background. ICT stands for Information and Communication Technology. And you can say that it consists of different tools or technical tools, or it contains different technical resources which can be used to communicate with the audience, which can be used to create some teaching learning material or teaching material. It can also be used to disseminate the knowledge or some kind of information. We can also store and manage that information with the help of all these ICT tools. I won't go into the details of ICT, but I just to tell you that exactly how can we use all these tools in our classrooms. See, earlier our classrooms were known as the traditional classrooms. Traditional classrooms means there was a blackboard and we had to use the chalk and duster. This was the traditional classroom. And some people used that OHP, overhead projector. It was there. I mean, we had to write or print those transparencies, and then we had to put it there in that overhead projector, and the same will be displayed. It was used to display on the some screen or wall, you can say. So that was the scenario before, you can say, 20 years or 25 years ago. Now, with the help of information communication technology, we have started using different technical tools, different resources for communication or for the delivery of the instructions. ICT, it basically consists of different electronic devices and you can say interactive devices or materials which will help us to use all that material, all those resources for wider teaching learning process. No doubt we can use it for our personal use also, but apart from that, now we are prepared, well prepared to use this technology or all these tools to deliver the instructions. See, even this session is also a very good example of using use of ICT. I'm sitting somewhere around 400 kilometers away from Dr. Rafe, and many of you are from the other states. Some people are from Karnataka, some people are from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, different states. So we are sitting at different places, at different locations, but still we are able to communicate with each other. Even we can see all the participants also. So we are using this technology, we are using all these technical tools that has made this teaching learning process, you can say, simpler. It has become simpler. If we go back to the history of all these technical tools or history of ICT or origin of ICT, you will find that origin of this technology or ICT or information and communication technology, it was earlier it was marked by the emergence of telecommunication. emergence of telecommunication. See, if you compare, if you go back to the history, you'll find that just imagine the scenario somewhere in, you can say, 1985, the year 1985. A very simple device which has become very common today, that was telephone. Telephone, nowadays, this is very common. Everybody may have a telephone on his or her desk now. Even we have that wireless communication tool, which is called as mobile. We have walkie-talkie, we have satellite phones, we have so many tools for communication now. But in the year 1980, 1985, telephones were there, but those were not very common. Even at our home, we didn't have, a common man did not have the telephone at his or her home. If you remember, during those days, we usually shared our neighbor's telephone number, landline number, with our relatives in case of emergency. That was only in case of emergency. Otherwise, we had to write the letters to our relatives and friends, or we had to send the telegrams during those days. That was the scenario. Or many people called, they communicated by using those STD booths, yellow colored STD booths, if you recall those booths. So this was the scenario. I mean, what I wanted to say, these tools were not very common before 40 years. Before 40 years, these were not very common. But now these things have become very common. So that was possible just because of the emergence of telecommunication. And that began in early 19th century when telegraph was invented. And later on, we know the history, what happened after that. So because of these ICT tools, education has become more, you can say, easy, or it has become easier, or it has become more accessible and more interactive because of all these tools. So we must be thankful to the evolution of this technology. With the help of that, right now we can have easy access to any resource person sitting at any point, any location on this planet. Anywhere, we can listen to anybody from anywhere. Just we need to have these ICT tools. That is, your mobile or computer would be there, and some good internet connectivity should be there. Then that was the first stage. This was the first stage when there was the emergence of telecommunications and telegraph, these basic technologies. Later on, during the second stage, you may find that there was the rise of computing somewhere in mid 20th century. Mid 20th century. Even if we consider all of you, if you are somewhere in the age group of, let us say, 43 to 48, you might have used computer for the first time somewhere around 1995-96. Roughly, you can say it is 95 to 98 or 2000. But do you think the computers were very common in the year 1995? Do you feel that computers were very common during those days? Or along with computers, internet was very common during those days? Perhaps your answer would be no. Because these computers were invented somewhere in the mid 20th century, and those were not easily accessible for a common person. So during those days, we had to go to our institutes, our colleges, or even schools didn't have the computers those days. But some of the colleges or some private institutes might be having computers. So we had to use these computers there. Beyond that, you will find that for internet, we had to struggle a lot, because those days we used that dial-up connection. See, I'm taking you back to the history. And dial-up connection required that user ID, password, and we we were very fortunate if we could connect it uh, in the first attempt itself. Otherwise, we had to struggle a lot for that. And as far as the speed is concerned, it was not like today's speed. Today we have tremendous speed. So that was the rise of computers, internet, all those things. But still, during those days, it was not very common. And those computers were very large and expensive at primary level. But today, we can use laptops, we can use our, let's say, tablets, even we can use our mobiles just like the computers. Okay. And another important thing during those days was the disk operating system, or DOS, we used those days. You might be able to recall those screens. DOS, C prompt was there. You have to use the bootable disk. First of all, you have to boot the computer, and then you have to start all those commands. The commands were also typical. So those who belong to computer background or technical background might be able to recall all those commands. And later on, after that, there was the invention of the Windows operating system, which has a very important feature of graphic user interface, GUI, what we call, or computer engineers call. So that was the second stage. When we talk about the evolution of ICT, that was the second stage. Then we witnessed the third stage. What happened during the third stage? During the third stage, we witnessed the emergence of internet. That was, towards the end of 20th century. Towards the end of 20th century. So the same thing, I was talking about the dial-up connections. Later on, we also started using, even the mobiles were not very common towards the end of 20th century. You may remember that during those days, we had to pay the charges for incoming as well as outgoing calls. And during those days, there was a device which was known as pager. With the help of that pager, we shared some messages also. And those bar phones were there. Means these things were not very common. Or maybe on that day, somewhere in 1995-98, we might not have imagined that we would be able to see this moment where we'll be sitting at a corner in this world, on this planet, and we will be communicating with a man who is a few thousand kilometers away from us. So that was because of the emergence of internet during the third stage, that was towards the end of 20th century. And that gave rise to World Wide Web, and it allowed all of us to share the information across the network. Just we were required to get connected with the network. And that led us to the creation of different types of industries or new industries, different business models, social networks, e-commerce websites, and e-commerce itself, online marketing, so on. And see, today, these things have grown up in such a manner that we can sit at our home and we can order anything, we can buy anything, we can purchase anything. Even you need not cook your food at home. In cities, you find that we have those service providers like Swiggy, and many other. There are many other. Just with the help of a click, you can get your food. So perhaps our older generation might not have imagined that they would be able to see all such things. So this was because of the emergence of internet during the third stage of the development or evolution of ICT. Then during the fourth stage, we witnessed the rise of mobile computing. Just now I told you that we are using our mobiles just like the computer. We can send the emails, we can receive the emails, we can go for banking. It's everything, almost everything can be done with the help of the mobile. Even we can deliver this lecture with the help of a mobile. Some of you might be listening to my session with the help of your mobiles. Okay? So this has become a small computer now. So that revolution, or you can say, we can call it a revolution. Okay, so that revolution started somewhere in the early 21st century, and then we could see the smartphones and tablets. After those bar phones, small phones, we could see the smartphones and tablets, and that provided us greater mobility. It provided us flexibility, and with the help of this technology, we could access to the information and we could communicate with anybody or from anywhere and at any time. At any time. Even today, with the help of video calls, some of your family members, they are abroad. I mean, in some other country. You can connect with them with the help of the video. So you may not feel that there is such a long distance between both of you. So this technology has made the things very, very simple. Then we witnessed the next stage, that is the fifth stage. The fifth stage, it is marked by the emergence of artificial intelligence. Today we are talking about, everybody is talking about artificial intelligence. So it is, you can see the current stage, and this AI, the research in AI is underway. It is underway because we have two different ideas, two different groups of people. Some say that AI is very much useful, and some people say that artificial intelligence may be hazardous or harmful for the human beings. And that's why I told you that still that research is going on, because we may have two different thought, two different ideas. It would be there. So that is the fifth stage. And here we know that we can perform the different tasks with the help of the machine. Where we require the human intelligence, we can perform those tasks with the help of machines. There are many surgeries, many operations, or several wars are there where we can use artificial intelligence. We are using different tools for surveillance or for several purposes. We have been using different tools. Some of the examples I have cited here, which can be performed with the help of AI. The first is visual perception. Second is speech recognition. Even we have made all these things very common now. Speech recognition, we have then decision making, industrial automation. Automation has played a very important role, especially in the Japanese and Korean industries. Even we are not an exception for that. We have also adapted these automation techniques in our country. So we can say that it could be possible because of the invention of internet, artificial intelligence, and all these technological tools. So we should be thankful to this technology. But as I told you, many people are talking about the risks, a few risks, or the use of this technology may be dangerous, harmful for the human beings. So I would say in that case, we need to be within the limits. If we would be within the limits, then there is no issue. There is no problem. I mean, that is not hazardous for us. But when it crosses certain limit or limits, then definitely it is going to be hazardous. Just like you can say, anything you say, as far as your food is concerned. If you start eating excess sugar, obviously it is going to be harmful for you. If you start spending excess time on social media or computer, mobile, definitely it will be hazardous for your eyes or your eyesight. That's why we need to have some limit for that, so that it won't be harmful, or we will not be victimized because of that technology. So this ICT has revolutionized education because it has changed, or it has transformed the traditional teaching methods. It has transformed the traditional teaching methods, and you can say that, as earlier described, in the traditional classrooms we had that blackboard. Even we didn't have that glass board also. Hmm? Forget about the smart board, but even we did not have the glass board. We had only the blackboard. But now we have each and every tool in our classroom. That's why we can say that it has played a very important role, or a pivotal role, you can say, in the process of enhancement of this learning experience. And see, that plays a very important role. I'll cite one simple example. How all these tools play important role in the teaching learning process. There is something which is known as visualization. This visualization is very important in teaching learning process. Visualization is very important in teaching learning process. Do you know what is visualization? You have experienced it. You have experienced it. Just recall. I'll cite very simple example. Recall your pre-primary classroom or primary classroom, or your children might be going to the primary class, primary school. Recall their classroom. What kind of classroom they have? Isn't their classroom colorful, full of pictures everywhere, which are hung there in the classroom? Everywhere you'll find the posters which are pasted on the wall, or they may have some teaching learning aids with them. Some objects may be there. They might be using some objects. So when the teacher teaches them the, let us say, alphabet, letters, English letters, A to Z, the teacher says A for apple, A for apple. So what is mean by A for apple? We have to imagine how exactly that apple, how does that apple look like? We had to imagine. But when that apple, some object of that apple, picture of that apple is available in the class, teacher can show it. See, this is A for apple. So immediately students can visualize it. And because of that visualization, the learners or the students can remember it for a longer time. Another example, even you might have visualized several things, especially while studying some history chapters, history units, certain things from history subject. Let us say you were studying the meeting of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and Afzal Khan at Pratapgarh. I think everybody knows Shivaji Maharaj, and everybody knows the way Shivaji Maharaj killed Afzal Khan. So the way that was described in that book, history book, when we were reading that, or when that history teacher was teaching us that particular meeting of both these warriors, you might have visualized. It was described in that history that Afzal Khan was a very tall person, and as compared to him, Shivaji Maharaj was shorter. They met each other. so on. And after that, Abdul Khan and his bodyguards tried to kill him. Then Shivaji Maharaj's bodyguard saved him, so on. You might have heard that. So when that teacher was teaching you all those things, you might have visualized a very tall person who was Abdul Khan, and a short person as compared to him was Shivaji Maharaj, their bodyguards, everything. You might have visualized it. And that's why we can say that this visualization plays a very important role when it comes to effective teaching learning process. And the same thing is possible. We can say that the same thing is possible for us with the help of all these ICT tools. All these ICT tools. And because of that, education has become more accessible and more interactive. More interactive. There are several ICT applications which are evolved, and even these have led us to the technological advancements. All these ICT tools, these inventions have led us to several technological advancements. Several technological advancements. Even later on, I'll share some more examples from our day-to-day life. Then another most important aspect of this ICT is, you can say, it can be used in different areas. We'll discuss those in detail. But apart from that, the most important thing is that we can use it for different purposes. So here we are concerned with the ICT for teaching learning, but in this teaching learning, we can use it for several purposes. Like, what are the objectives, what are the goals we can achieve, what would be our targets? We can discuss it. First of all, when we talk about ICT for teaching learning process, ICT for teaching learning process, just now I explained to what extent it can be useful for us when it comes to teaching and learning. Second dimension of this ICT in teaching learning process is the diagnostic testing and remedial teaching. Remedial teaching. See, there are many institutes, there are many training centers, there are many schools, colleges which are using different ICT tools for the diagnostic testing of their learners or their students. Apart from that, everybody from you might be aware with the remedial teaching process where we are using the ICT tools, especially these distance learning schools, or you can say open universities. They have been effectively using these ICT tools these days because they do not have the physical classrooms like us, and that's why they started using these ICT tools, and they are using it in a very effective manner. They are using it in a very effective manner. Then second dimension is the development of reasoning and thinking. The fourth dimension is instructional material development. ICT has also helped us for the development of different teaching learning material or the instructional material. That material includes different articles, different books, or different applications, or such presentations also. With the help of these presentations, you can visualize whatever I wanted to write on the board. I'm showing it here to all of you. So you can read all those words, you can see those instructions in written form on your screen. The same thing we would have done in the classroom, maybe on the board. So we are doing it here on the screen. Even we can develop different instructional material by using ICT. We can propagate, we can transfer, we can hand over that material to the learners. There are many private coaching classes or private institutes which are doing the same thing. They normally enroll their students in online mode and they deliver all the sessions in online mode. There are many. Even for us, we have some platforms like NPTL where we get the online trainings or online sessions. Okay. So that is another important aspect. Then evaluation. Evaluation, it may be any kind of evaluation. It can be done online by using the ICT or this technology or these technical tools. Even the psychological analysis of the learners can be done with the help of that. Those who are associated with technology or computer department, or you can say TNP, training and placement department, or HR, you might have seen there are certain applications, there are some software for training the students, for prepare the students for interviews, their personal interviews or job interviews. So these applications or these softwares, they also use AI. And with the help of your eyes, your facial expressions, your body language, or based on your educational background, they'll design a quiz for you. Means that is just like an interview, just like an interview. That computer will ask you some questions based on your age, your experience, then you can say your educational background, and the post you have applied for. The post you have applied for. And with the help of your gestures, that application would award you some rating or it will award you some marks. And based on that, you can decide to what extent you are successful for that interview. To what extent you are successful for that interview. Even these applications are available these days. Such softwares are also available these days. Okay. So these are several dimensions which can be used, or applications you can say, or different dimensions of ICT. Then we have another important aspect, that is this technology is basically related with information and communication, and that form of that information, it may vary. That can be in any kind of form. Sometimes it may be sound, means audio form. Sometimes it may be picture, that is audio picture form, or sometimes it may be the video form, or sometimes it may be the text form. And we have used all such tools. We have used all such tools. Okay. Then it can also be used for different areas or for different purpose. You know that now education, all of us know because most of us are the teachers. But when you think about the banking sector, when you think about the banking sector, you know, to what extent banking has become simpler. Banking has become simpler. If you recall, during the older days, the bankers or that cashier, they were forced, or they were supposed to use those big registers. Ledgers means those registers, where they usually entered all your transactions by hand. They had to enter your transactions. And at the end of the day, they were supposed to tally all those things. And that is why withdrawing the cash from your bank, that process usually took 2 to 5 minutes during the older days. But now, how much time it takes? Can anybody tell me? To withdraw the cash from bank, how many seconds or minutes are required? You can type your answer in the chat box. How much time is required to withdraw the cash from your bank? Yes, right. Within a few seconds, we can get it within a few seconds. Means you have to just hand over that check or withdrawal slip to that cashier. He'll give back you the cash. Or we have that machine, ATM, you call it. We have to just insert our ATM card. Even for some banks, you do not need ATM card. Without using ATM card, you can withdraw the money. That is a technology. Yeah? You may say, sir, how is it possible? Certain banks are using that technology. That is also possible. Means we had not imagined that we would be able to draw the cash, withdraw the cash without using our ATM card physically. So that is also possible. It has also become possible now. So banking sector is, you can say, revolutionized because of this. Later on, we will talk about all these sectors in detail. So what I want to say here, with the ICT, just because of the evolution of ICT, all these sectors are transformed totally. It may be education, it may be banking, it may be agriculture, it may be healthcare, e-commerce or online shopping, politics, or you can say the governance, transport, so on. There are so many things, so many areas where we have witnessed this kind of transformation. Okay. We will discuss these points in detail in the other slide. Okay. Then we have we can talk about some applications of ICT. Some applications of ICT. The first area where we can use ICT for distance education. It is used in distance education. Just now I cited the example of the open universities or some platforms like NPTL. We can use the ICT tools there, where we can have a very good communication, we can have effective communication among the instructor and the learner. Instructor and the learner. That is one of the dimensions. Second dimension is the educational administration. For educational administration, we are using different ICT tools, Then instructional system, where we want to deliver the instructions to the learners, to our audience. We can just record our video, or we may go online or live also. We may go live also. But if you don't want to go live, in that case, you know, there are many YouTubers, or some of you might have developed your own e-content also. So what we do there, we use all these ICT tools. We record our session. It may be of 15 minutes or it may be for an hour. We record it and we share it on some platform, which can be watched by different people. And that will be free to all. That will be free to all, unless it is restricted. So we can have this kind of e-content development with the help of these ICT tools. And this has become very important these days. All of you might have been forced, like the agencies like UGC and AICT, or the state governments, they have compelled us to develop some kind of e-content. Then we have another dimension, another use, another application of ICT, that is the library services. We have also started access to different libraries remotely. We can have the remote access to all these libraries. We are able to access these libraries. You may have your own library, the library of your own institute. You can use it with the help of certain application, mobile application. You can use it. You just need to have those credentials, user ID and your password. You can access the ebooks or several e-content from your mobile phone or maybe your computer. You may be sitting at other location. You can have easy access to that library. We call it e-library. Then the most important aspect here would be the research and development. Okay. Shall I take a break? 5 minutes break, if you don't have any problem. Just I'll be back within 5 minutes. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Sorry for the interruption. Even, yeah, I was talking about another application, that is research and development. See, these days we have benefited a lot when it comes to research or research and development, because we can have easy access to any kind of resource from any location to any location. I mean, if even though we are sitting somewhere, let us say Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, we can have access to some kind of e-content which is located in some state in United States of America or somewhere in United Kingdom. Means it has become so easier. Just with the help of a click, we can have access to those. And that has also promoted the research. Even you might have registered yourselves at different websites like ResearchGate, where you can post your research articles, book chapters, and people can have easy access to your articles. Means this sharing has become very easy, and that has promoted research. These days, many people are writing something, they are doing their research, they are publishing their research. Even they have gone for patents also. Then the another aspect of this is the delivery of the course material. So again, for these open universities, this has become a boon. They can deliver all the course material or content with the help of this ICT technology or this technology. Apart from that, we can also learn different languages by using some websites or applications like Duolingo. We can learn different languages. And this is not a challenge at all these days. You may not believe, my child at the age of 7.5, at the age of 7 or 7.5, started learning, I think it was Japanese. He started learning Japanese language. Means that was just possible with the help of ICT, internet, and the application I referred to, that is Duolingo. Every day he could learn it for 50 days almost. Continuously he learned for 50 days. Means if we want to learn some foreign language, we can learn it with the help of all this technology. And that has provided us improved access to everything, all kind of teaching, learning material. Means we get anything and everything. We get anything and everything with the help of ICT. And that has promoted the education, that has promoted research among the people. And that is why we can say that this is really a boon for us. But we need to take care of that this boon should not be transformed into a curse. Earlier, I was talking about some limit. Unless we limit the usage, see, this is the rule. Whenever anything crosses certain limits or anything we do in excess, that is harmful for us. I cited the example of sugar. Some quantity of sugar may be required for your body that we get from our food. A very small quantity of sugar, it is okay. If you consume it directly, it's okay. But if you started consuming sugar excessively, will it be helpful for your body? Obviously not. You'll be inviting different diseases, different problems for your body. That is why anything should be within the limits. Anything should be within the limits. You would say, no, I won't sleep and I want to study very hard. So I'll sleep for only 2 or 3 hours. Will it be recommended by any medical practitioners? It cannot be. If you sleep for 2 or 3 hours every day, this will be very difficult for you to maintain the sound health, physical and mental health, both. So That's why we call it Lakshman Resha. We call it Lakshman Resha. For any activity in our life, there should be this Lakshman Resha, or this limit should be there. Anything should not be done excessively. The same is with this technology. The excessive use of this technology may destroy you, may be harmful for you. And that is why people have started talking about the drawbacks of AI, artificial intelligence. They are not wrong. So somewhere we need to restrict. We need to restrict ourselves from the excessive use of this technology. Excessive use of this technology. Then the another important point here, in what way we can use, or we have been using this ICT in the field of education, in the area of education. We have started using this technology in the field of education, in the area of education, like for, you can say, e-learning. Just now I explained e-learning and e-libraries. Then we have easy access to all these online resources, online courses, okay? Or we have very close access to all kind of information. Even we are experiencing collaborative learning, distance learning, and that learning or that teaching is no doubt effective. It is no doubt effective. Just you need to design your content in such a manner that it should be interesting for the learners or for your audience. And that is why it is required to, you can say, record the short videos, so that people would listen to it, people would watch it, and they can learn something out of it. If you record some lengthy videos, it will be a bit difficult for your learners to listen to it for a longer time, Then you have educational data storage, multimedia approach. See, people have started using multimedia approach also. Means when we use multimedia in that e-content, this becomes very effective, especially for the children. When you use multimedia for the e-content developed for the children, it becomes more interesting for them. That is why we can use the multimedia also in our content, or the e-content. Then we have the easy access to the source of any kind of information, and this would be very much useful for the children with disabilities, or we call them Divyang people, Divyangjan. See, I don't know how many of you have visited the schools where these people are trained, or Divyang people are trained. I have visited one school in a neighboring district, which is neighboring to Mumbai, that is in Palghar, neighboring to Thane. So when we visited that school, we were really surprised that they had already started using ICT or different tools, technological tools, to train their learners, to train their children. Those were small children from the age group that varies from 8 to 14. 8 to 14. And it was really appreciable that they were using, and the students, though children were also trained properly, though they were physically challenged, they were very smart. So these are the various applications of ICT we can use in our classrooms, we can say that these traditional classrooms are transformed to the modern classrooms now. So these are no more traditional classrooms, we can say. Now these are not the traditional classrooms. We have transformed these classrooms. Then, just now I was talking about different areas where we can apply, where we can use these tools, ICT tools. The first and very most important area is education. In the area of education, in the field of education, we use these ICT tools. Just now I referred to e-libraries or digital libraries. No doubt we have been using these digital libraries, or even we are using, we are having access to different journals, e-journals. And all these are the reputed journals. We can access those journals by sitting at our office or our house. Just we need to pay certain fees for that. If we get that subscription, we can have easy access to those resources, those journals. Then apart from that, we can also create and use different visual learning tools. I mean, some kind of video can be recorded and that can be shared with the people. Okay? And that will be helpful for us to enhance this teaching learning process or teaching learning experience. I'll cite some examples of some tools later on. Some of you might be already aware of all those tools. Then for evaluation purpose. See, in the field of education, this evaluation has also changed. It has also changed with the help of ICT. What was the earlier tradition? We usually evaluate the learners with the help of pen and paper. But these days, it has changed. We have gone for on-screen evaluation. Even interviews may be conducted online. I mean, that is also a kind of evaluation of that would-be employee of that company. So for evaluation, it is not required to visit that place physically. For interviews, you are not required to visit that place physically. You may be sitting at a distant location and you may evaluate them. Or even for your written examinations, university examination or your college examination, your answer papers will be scanned and those will be available online for all the evaluators, and these evaluators can assess or check, evaluate all those answer papers on screen. And whatever marks you will award, those will be recorded by your vendor. Okay. So this scenario has changed totally. Okay. Then we have better collaboration of students with the teachers. Some people say that we do not have proper collaboration with the help of this kind of learning, distance learning, or with the help of e-resources or ICT. But to some extent, it would also depend upon the tools you are using. I mean, you have to keep them engaged. You have to keep them engaged by providing certain activities, during your session. So there will be a good collaboration, there will be a good exchange of ideas during such sessions. So that is the first area where we have been using education. Second is home. I mean, it proves that even your home is not an exception for the use of ICT. Means everywhere in all the walks of life, we have been using these ICT tools. Okay. So at home, what are the instances, what are the situations where we use ICT? First of all, the payment of different bills. e-bills or electronic bills. It may be your electricity bill, it may be the bill of your say cooking gas, LPG, or any other kind of bill. You can pay it by sitting at your home. You need not go to any cash counter of any company or any office. Even all your municipality corporation bills can be paid by sitting at home. That is the first example of use of ICT at home. Second, money management. These days, people have become, I can say, very much aware about money management. Yesterday, I was watching some news channel and I found that the number of accounts, demat accounts, it has heavily increased. Maybe five times after from the year 2019 or 20. It has increased 5 times. So that it may be the purpose, money management. People started investing their money and they can do it by sitting at their home. They need not go to any office, any exchange, any place, any other place. With the help of their computer, laptop, mobile, they can do that. Another important activity we are involved in, that is entertainment. It may be music, it may be video, or it may be any other entertainment activity. With the help of that, we can create a source of entertainment for us during our leisure. Because we may have some, when we are tired, when we are under some kind of pressure or stress, we need some relaxation. And in that case, we can get the help of some kind of music or some kind of video. That may be a kind of break you can say. So at home, we have been using these tools, ICT tools, for these many purposes. Then another important area where we have started using it is office. See, all our offices are well equipped now. We can create different types of communications, different types of letter, or any kind of, you just name it, it is ready there. With the help of our ERP software, with the help of our MIS software, everything is ready there. We can even create our payrolls. We can create our income statements by using different types of software. We have many. We can name just one or two here, but there are many softwares. And even apart from that, these ERP and MIS vendors, they have also provided particular facilities to generate all such statements or payrolls or whatever you need. They can provide you anything. Then creation for office, we have so many things. And then even we can record, prepare a record of all our employees. We can preserve it. For a long time. Just a minute. And these things are repeated. Okay, that's fine. I'm deleting these things. Okay. So all the records of your employees can be preserved, and those can be retained. Okay, those can be recalled whenever it is required. Then another important area where these ICT tools have become very important, it is the security and defense. I think I forgot to include agriculture here. Yes, I think I didn't mention agriculture, but okay, I'll talk about it. Yes, security and defense. Even this area has been transformed totally because of the invention of different technologies. Drone, everybody is aware of drone. With the help of drone, with the help of technology, different technologies, even we have radar system. So with the help of all this technology, we can locate our enemies. We can record, monitor all the movements of our enemies. But during the older days, it was not so simple. But this technology has helped us in the area of security and defense. Even we can cite the example of radar also. Then another point is the metal detectors and the scanners. Different types of scanners are available. When we go to, you can say, the secretariat or mantralaya at your capital place, we have to undergo so many security checks. Or when you go to the airports, you have to undergo different security checks. They use metal detectors, they use different types of scanners. They also check you physically, and they also check your baggage through their scanners. So all these scanners and metal detectors are using different types of tools, ICT tools. Managing the drones, again, that is controlled with the help of, you can say, some remote, and you can go for any kind of surveillance with the help of drone in the security or defense field of security or defense. Even for the forensic science experts, this has proved a boon. Technology, ICT, has proved a boon. For weapon assembly, that is also automated now. This weapon assembly is automated. We have designed so many weapons, tested many weapons, and started using all these weapons with the help of technology. And for security and defense purpose, we can track and tap different calls. By using different satellites, by using different types of technologies, we can track and tap all kind of calls. Even some of you might be knowing that all our messages are monitored, all our calls may be recorded or may be tapped. But we are not, you can say, we are very common people. We are not VIPs. We are not VIPs. So there is no question of tapping our calls. But all the moments are tracked. Those moments of especially your enemies can be tracked. And accordingly, certain steps may be taken. Then another field is the management, that is employee management or human resource management. Human resource management. We can have a better planning of the human resources and the material we have. If we have some organization, some industry, some manufacturing unit, in that particular unit, we can have better planning of the human resources or the raw material. See, now these days you might have seen that we have these 24 hours pharmacists or medicals. When you demand for a particular drug, what does he do? First of all, he would type the name of that drug. He would type the name of that drug there on his screen, and then he would means he'll be inquiring, he'll cross-check it in his stock. If he finds that it is available in his stock, then he'll say, yes, it is available. Otherwise, he'll also suggest you that is available in so-and-so store in so-and-so area. Let us, that Apollo Pharmacy and all those such, you can say, the chain pharmacists. Okay. So management of the raw material, management of your resources, management of human resources, everything has become so easier because of the use of technology. Means if you do not find that drug there, you can directly go to that XYZ location as per his instructions. Means you need not search for that drug from one pharmacist to the other, second pharmacist, second to third. So that saves your time, that saves your fuel, that saves your energy. Directly you can go to that XYZ location and you can get that. Then forecasting, weather forecasting. With the help of these satellites, technology, we get the weather forecasts. When there is going to be heavy rain, already we are warned by the meteorological department, and we take certain precautions during birthdays. No doubt sometimes those forecasts may go wrong, but most of the times those are true. And the data management and data storage. See, we have so many institutes or so many universities, especially universities. So these universities are having a few lakh students, and they are storing the all kind of data of their students at a single location. They have their data bank, they have their data management server or system, and with the help of that, they can store and they can retrieve that data whenever it is required. Means they have everything, they have everything with them, right from the name, address, date of birth, the fees paid, marks of all the classes, everything they have there in their server. Anytime they can have access to the data of that particular student. That is about student. When you talk about the data of different vehicles, that is also available with this road transport officers. The data of your vehicle, whether you do have your PUC, whether you have your insurance, whether your driving license is expired or it is active, everything they can get that with the help of the device they have with them. Means in all walks of life, these people are using the technology. That is information and communication technology. So this has become the part and parcel of our life. Nowhere we are able to escape from this technology or these ICT tools. Nowhere we are able to escape. Then another area where we have started using this ICT is agriculture. In the field of agriculture, I told you I had missed that point there. We do not have slide about agriculture, but agriculture has also started using technology. Those who are from the agriculture field and those who have started using technology, they might be aware of this. I would cite a very simple example. We have some agriculture universities in the state of Maharashtra. So these universities have collaborated with some technical organizations or technological universities where they wanted to develop the drone technology to monitor all their crops, or maybe for different purposes, maybe for surveillance, for vigilance. So drone technology or some other technologies they have started using for their agriculture purpose. Second, and very important, is banking. It can be banking. Yes, chemical spraying also possible with the help of drones. That is also being done by some of the farmers, obviously, right? Then banking. You might have seen to what extent this banking has been transformed these days. Just with the help of a click, you can transfer the money to some other account. By using this device, mobile device, you can do that. Even you do not need computers. You need not go to the bank. You need not go to the bank. Even to deposit your money or cash, you need not go to bank. You just go to that ATM where that facility is there. You can deposit that with the help of that machine. So this has transformed totally. Even apart from that, we have that intercity banking. Because of core banking, we can go to any branch and we can withdraw money from even our non-home branch. So it has drastically changed the scenario because of the use of different ICT tools. There are so many revolutions in banking and finance sector. because of ICT. See, you might have seen while e-filing your income tax refund, that website, income tax department's website, fetches all your data, all the transactions recorded under your PAN, under your PAN. That fetches all that data. Means now you are not able to hide anything, of your income, which is recorded under your PAN. Means they have started using ICT, and that's why it is possible for them, and that's why we have to pay the taxes on that particular transaction, which is recorded under your PAN. Then healthcare and medicine. For medical science, just now I told you that there are certain surgeries, there are certain operations which are performed by some machines. The doctors monitor it, and those machines would complete that operation or that particular surgery, which needs a lot of precision. Means that machine has been helping those doctors or the medical practitioners just like some other experts. Means it is the part of their team now in the, you can say, that operation, at the location of that operation or surgery. That machine is the part of that team, doctor's team. Then another area you can talk about is politics and governance. Politics and governance. For politics, recently you might have received several calls during the political campaign in the state of Maharashtra and Chhattisgarh. You might have received different telephone calls where those contestants might have appealed you to vote for them. And earlier, before 10 years, we didn't have this kind of facility, this kind of scenario. So now people have started using different ICT tools, and even in the governance, they use different ICT tools. Then industries, since they have started using technology, they have increased their production tremendously. And even many of these industries have gone for industrial automation. This industrial automation has brought in the precision in their production line, and secondly, it has saved their time, and it has brought in the perfection in their products. Then in the scientific domain, we have started using these ICT tools in different scientific labs, national laboratories, everywhere we started using this technology. And last but not the least is transport. It may be traffic alerts, or it may be any kind of tracking system or transport system. Even your public transport buses, they have also started using GPS devices. Means that service provider can track their vehicle. That is possible. That vehicle tracking is easily possible. Even with the help of this device, mobile, we can track the person who is carrying that mobile. That is possible because of this technology, GPS technology. So in all these areas, we have used technology, and it has added to our convenience. Okay. Then there is another important point, that is ICT in education. To what extent we have started using ICT in education. I think before we proceed, we'll have a break of 5 to 8 minutes so that even you can relax for some time, and even I'll be back after 5 to 8 minutes. It is almost 3:54 in my clock, 3:54. So we will 3:55, let us say. So we'll meet, we'll come back around 8, 4 minutes past 3. I mean 4:04, 4:04 पर हम लोग वापस आएंगे. You need not log out the session. You can take a break. Maybe some of you may be required to go for the biological break also. If you want to have a cup of tea or glass of water, you can have it and come back within next 8 minutes. Okay. So will it be okay to take this break? Okay. Okay. So I'll just mute. Yes, let us start. There was a note. Yeah, we were talking about some applications of ICT. We talked about banking, healthcare, politics, scientific domain, so on. Now we'll come back to the education. We'll come back to education. In the area of education, in the field of education, with the help of ICT, we got access, easy access, increased access to the teaching learning resources. And that has led to the enhancement of teaching learning process. And we could make this process more effective. And we could personalize the learning process here. I mean, we can monitor the performance of each and every individual or individual learners, and we can share the required resources with every individual by using different ICT tools. Even being teachers, you might have shared different types of teaching learning material with your learners, with your students in your school, your college or your university. This has also led the collaborative learning, which has you can say improved the teaching learning process. And the most important thing is that we have the improved communication. Because of the use of ICT tools, we can communicate in both, or you can say both the directions we can communicate. And we can have the dialogue. Means that is not the education like the traditional learning, where the teacher usually came to the class and he usually delivered the instructions and he left the classroom. But this is interactive, you can say, education, where both teacher and the learner, both of them can collaborate, both of them can share their views. That's right. This is, we can say that with the help of this tool, there is some improvement in communication. Then we can have convenience with the help of these tools, ICT tools. We have a lot of convenience for a teacher as well as the learners, for the teachers as well as learners. Then we have started using different e-learning or online learning platforms. Because of the use of ICT in the area of education, we have got different ways, new ways of learning for the students or the teachers. Even teachers, they can enhance their skills with the help of ICT tools. They need not complete, they need not attend any, for every time, for every moment, they need not travel. The way you people are sitting at your place and you are attending this course, you're listening to different speakers, resource persons. So this is because of ICT. And this e-learning or online learning has become increasingly popular and convenience because of this ICT, use of ICT. Because many times you may face some unprecedented events, and because of that you may not travel. And in that case, you will miss that course. You will miss that opportunity to listen to those speakers. So this would happen in this era because we have started using ICT. We are sitting at our place, and in any situation, we can listen to that particular speaker. So that has provided us so many opportunities. Even I'll cite the example of some AICT training sessions. Some of you who are associated with technical education, you might be aware that during the pandemic, AICT had introduced the program for universal human values. And during those days, we were literally sitting at home and we attended all those training programs or those courses. And you may not believe, we attended those courses with family members because that was allowed by the All India Council for Technical Education. We call it AICT. And that was the beauty of the use of ICT during those days. And even we continued the same glory at present. Okay. Then this has also brought the inclusion of all the elements in the educational field or in the society. This right now, this session might be listened by any, attended by any other person who is sitting near you or neighboring to you. Even he would be listening to this session. Means you can, or people, or this education, this technology, it has become all inclusive. Okay. And even you can have the access, easy access to all kind of material because of the ICT tools. And that has opened up the new issues. We will be talking about these issues, some of the issues, rather than calling issues, we will call these as challenges. At the end of the discussion, we will talk about it. Another benefit of ICT is that it promotes the higher order thinking skills. As we know, that the present generation is very smart. These youngsters are very smart and they have started learning so many things. And with the help of learning, they can have their own analysis, they can have their own research, they can have their own thinking about all the, you may say, trending areas or trending topics. Okay. And even if you need some more explanation about certain topic, a particular topic, you can use these ICT tools and you can listen to any desired person or speaker or professor and you can listen to him. Okay. The students, they also, whenever required to discuss certain things, they can discuss it among themselves, they can test or they can design, they can devise different strategies which are required for them in the teaching learning process. Even this is useful for the development of ICT literacy and capability. And the most important thing is that it has motivated the learners. Means this learning process has become more effective. See, in this society, there is a large or there is a huge demand of new technology. And the children, they have also become very smart because of the use of mobiles and computers, laptops, because they have a fascination about this technology. And it has encouraged them or it has motivated them to learn several things when they are away from the classroom. No doubt, when they are in the classroom, they are prepared to learn the things, but even they are away from the classroom, they can learn several things. See, they must have that attitude. I have seen some children. I have seen some children, though they are playing some games, mobile games or computer games, but I have observed, actually, I have gone for a survey and I have observed that in that survey, these children, though they are playing some mobile games or computer games, their language, especially those who are playing games in English, or even we have some YouTubers who share their recordings on YouTube. I have seen that these children are very smart and they have enhanced, they have developed their diction, their vocabulary of English, and they are exposed to several words. They are exposed to several words because those particular words were repetitively used by that YouTuber, and the children, they were exposed repetitively to the use of those words. I'll cite a simple example. I don't recall the name of that game because long back I had made that child. I had gone to his residence and I was just discussing the things with him. I found that that child at that time, his age was something 6 years, 6 or 6.5, not more than that. But he was knowing uh, a lot, many things about mining and different elements which we can get from the mines. It may be coal, it may be manganese, it may be gold, or it may be diamond, or so many things he shared with me. So I was surprised that at the age of 6.5, we were not knowing so many things. But he was knowing different mining tools and he was knowing different elements which we get from the mines. Is it not surprising? So means that may be a rare case. It may not be very common, but still that child, while playing, learned certain things. That child could learn certain things while playing the games. So that was simply wonderful. Then we can talk about the engagement of the learners and the retention of the knowledge. Earlier I cited you the example of visualization, example of that apple in the class, or the different objects which are hung in the classroom, pre-primary classroom. When these objects are displayed there, certain posters are displayed there, certain pictures are displayed there, then it helps us to remember all these things in the same format, same color. We do not forget those things easily. Means that knowledge retention is possible strongly in that case. That is why this technology has provided us different opportunities to make it fun learning, you can say, or this is a kind of learning with fun or enjoyable learning. And that is why this teaching learning process has transformed because of ICT, the use of these tools. Okay? And that is why we can say that there is increased engagement of the learners. And that is why the learners will be able to retain that knowledge more effectively and efficiently. Okay? And I'm sure that child can remember the names of those elements, those mining tools for a longer time. It took 12 to 15 years for us to learn those elements and those mining tools. Maybe when we were around 14 or 15 years, at that time we learned all those things. So it's up to us, the way we make use of all these resources, that is up to us. Means your attitude will decide these things. Your attitude means the way you look at a particular thing, like glass. When this glass is shown to you, this glass is half empty or half filled. You have to decide it. Your attitude will decide it, whether it is half empty or half filled. Based on your attitude, there will be your answer. Similarly, that is very important. Your attitude is very important. Okay. Then this technology also allows the effective differentiation or effective use of different technologies and different styles, and that provides us opportunities to learn the things in an effective manner. The most important thing here is the integration of ICT in the national curriculum. And now we are talking about NEP 2020 and the integration of the digital technologies or ICT is one of the important parts of the curriculum of certain countries. Some of the countries, even we have promoted under NEP 2020, we have also promoted the use of ICT, and as a part of that, the private organizations were already well equipped. They had already well equipped classrooms, but the government organizations, they have also transformed their classrooms now. And you can say that the global governments are taking certain steps for the enhancement of their classrooms now. So we can say that this is a kind of revolution. This is a kind of revolution in the field of education. And as a result of that, we can say that this is the economy where the knowledge has been playing a vital role. That's why we can say that we are in the world of the knowledge economy. We are the part of the knowledge economy. And then when we talk about ICT, it enhances the access to quality educational resources. Different educational resources are there. It has also facilitated the personalized and interactive learning. It has improved the teacher-student engagement, and it has also fostered critical thinking and digital literacy skills. See, its example can be cited like during the pandemic, many people were not techno-savvy. They were not techno-savvy, but because of the situation, they had to acquire that technology, they had to learn that technology. So because of that, they have also become techno-savvy, or they could learn that technology, computers, use of computers, different applications. They could learn all those things. So that has opened the new doors for such people, maybe learners as well as the teachers, learners as well as the teachers. And that has led to the global collaboration and communication. As a result of that, many Indian universities have collaborated. Many Indian universities have collaborated with the foreign universities, and as a result of that, we have some collaborations with them, and we have proper linkage, sharing with these universities. We can go for the student exchange also, student exchange programs also. Okay. That is another beauty of this. Then some examples of ICT integration in education. I'll cite a few examples. First is different online learning platforms. Just now I cited some platforms like NPTEL, or we have that Springboard facility promoted by Infosys. Apart from that, we have many other online platforms which have been helping us to for online learning. Okay. Then we have VR also, that is virtual reality in education. During pandemic, this was a very good support for many technical and scientific institutes. Virtual reality. We had virtual labs during those days. We could perform certain practicals, not all, but certain practicals with the help of virtual reality in education. Then gamification in the classroom. Earlier, that gamification was of different kind, and today, because of the use of ICT, the form of that gamification in the classroom has changed tremendously. And that's why it is beneficial for the learners these days. Then we have flipped classroom models, e-learning platforms like Diksha, Swayam, NPTEL, and content creation repository. It has added to the content creation of different types and repository. Okay, that is the another aspect. Then even we can use different languages with the help of ICT. Those may be the foreign languages or some of the ancient languages. In those may be Indian ancient languages also. And we have different applications, different software, different websites which are available there. Even we can learn these languages in the language laboratories. Some of your institutions might be having the language laboratories, and you might have used different applications or software there in your language laboratories. Okay. Another important aspect of this is the integration, ICT integration by using IoT. IoT means that is Internet of Things. I won't go into the details of IoT because I do not belong to that area, computer, so I won't go into all those details. But I'll give you a general reference to the integration, ICT integration by using IoT. Means that Internet of Things or IoT would be helpful for us to connect the devices to the human values. Like we can consider some aspects, 5 to 6 aspects. The first would be the device connection. Means with the help of some kind of technology, we would be able to connect the devices. Okay, certain devices can be connected. Secondly, we can go for data sensing also. That is to fetch some data from certain place or certain location and store it. Okay, that is another step or another aspect. Third would be communication. That is, we would be focusing on the access to different networks, clouds, or data transfer or data transports. Okay, that is another aspect. Data analytics. Some of you might be aware of big data analysis or AI or cognitive analysis. So these are also the aspects of computer engineering. And then data value, that is the analysis to action APIs and the processing of actionable intelligence. And lastly, the human value, that is smart applications or stakeholders. In simple words, I can tell you that this IoT means this would judge your, you can say, preferences. A very simple example can be cited here. Everybody might be using um, some e-commerce websites like Amazon, Flipkart, or Google, whatever it is. So when you search for a particular product at Amazon, what happens based on your search, based on your keywords, based on your preferences, next time when you visit that website, it would suggest you certain things. It would suggest you some products. Means that is the part of data analytics. That is the part of data analytics. Means it will analyze your data, and based on that, it will provide you some suggestions. Suggested products or something is displayed there on the website. That is based on the Internet of Things. Means it would analyze the data of each and every user, and based on that, it would provide you some suggestions. That is IoT, which can be integrated with the ICT in the field of education. Now, towards moving the conclusion of our discussion, we need to talk about the advantages and disadvantages. All these were the advantages. And earlier, when I was talking about Lakshman Resha or excessive use of anything leads us to destruction. Similarly, we can have some of the disadvantages of ICT here. So what can be those disadvantages? The first is digital divide. Digital divide means people would be divided into two groups. Some people may not be very much comfortable with digital equipment or technology. So they would have a different psychology. They may be demotivated, but that is known as digital divide. Lack of teachers training, and many teachers, they are not trained for use to use the technology. They are not trained to use the technology, and that may lead to some kind of nervousness among some people. Then we have insecurity of data. That is one of the major problems these days. We receive so many spam calls while using mobile, or many of these companies share all our data with some other organizations or other companies, and they unnecessarily call us. They hammer us for their products, their offers, so on. And nowadays, people are also calling for the research. They are ready to write the thesis for us, research articles for us. It means that is too much. That is too much. That is not ethical. That is something unethical. Means we are crossing our limits in that case, I would say. So our data is not secure in this era, because we are using technology, we are exposed to technology. So you may say, then why should we use technology? But in that case, I would suggest that we should be within the limits. We should be within the limits. I'll suggest a few recommendations for that. Then fraudsters are there. There are many fraudsters. They have also become troublesome for us. To some extent, it may lead to some kind of unemployment. But with the help of our own creativity, we can create our own employment. Means rather than being the employee, we should try to generate some kind of employment for others. We should be employers. We should be employers. At least some of us can be the entrepreneurs. We need to think about some kind of business idea. Then we have virus threat. Obviously, that is also one of the major challenge. Because of that, our computer system or our data, it may not be safe. It may be stolen. It may be stolen by any unknown person sitting at unknown location. And these are also very common things. Many times they send us some trojans, or they have many techniques, and they capture all our data, they control all our data, and these are unethical people. Okay. Then cost of setting up the ICT gadgets. For some people, this is also a challenge, because that may take a lot of funding when they want to set up. Lecture. Cost of setting up ICT gadget may not be affordable for some people, and that's why they move away from it. So these are some of the disadvantages of ICT. Then if we have some of the disadvantages, then we should have some solutions for that. So the first solution would be, that is to promote digital literacy among the people, so that they should be comfortable with the technology, use of technological devices. Because see, people are so much afraid of using technology that they run away from technology. I have seen some people who do not use internet banking. They are afraid of such fraudsters. They say, no, I don't want to use internet banking. They prefer to go to the bank physically. Some people are afraid of using credit cards because they have heard so many things about the frauds with credit cards. But I feel if you use these facilities in a very safe mode, or very safely, without exposing to any fraudster, without using any fake website applications on your mobile or your computers, then I don't think it will lead to you any kind of threat. And many of you might be using different credit cards, or you might be using internet banking, because that has added to a lot of convenience for us. Means most of us have not run away from all these things, but some people I have seen, they run away from all these things and they try to restrict themselves, they try to keep themselves very safe, but that leads to inconvenience. So it should not lead to inconvenience for us. Okay, let us add some kind of convenience as well as safety to these things, and that can be done by such people. Then we have another solution, that is to provide professional development for teachers. You may find many teachers, they are not very much familiar with the use of technology. So at least the basic training can be provided to these people, these teachers, so that they can make use of technology in their classroom, irrespective of their age. Some people say, no, we have crossed 55 and we don't need this technology. And that should not be the response. They should be creative, they should be positive, and positively they should acquire that technology, at least the basic things. And with the help of that, they can go ahead. And the most important thing is developing efficient security systems. Security systems. Some firewalls may be there, some use of antivirus may be there at your organizational level or at personal level. You may introduce such things, because that will add to the security of your system, security of your data, security of your software, security of your organization. And that's why it is very important to deploy some security systems at your end. In that case, you need not worry about the threats will be minimized, you can say. The threats will be minimized. That's what we can do in order to add the security. Then we may have different tools. I was talking about different tools which would be useful for you to use in your classrooms or in your teaching learning process, where we can integrate the ICT in education. I could recall one website, that is Mentimeter. Have you used mentimeter.com? Anybody? just post yes if you have used it. This is a very common resource nowadays. It has become very common. Yeah. Anybody who has used some tools like Mentimeter? If yes, you can just type yes in the chat box. No, it seems nobody has used it. Okay. Okay. Then it is good for me that I can add one more thing to your knowledge. Okay. You can do after my session, you can go to this mentimeter.com. What we can do it here. I'll quickly tell you how it is useful for us and how it is useful for the better engagement of the learners. See, with the help of mentimeter.com, you can design different questionnaires, different polls also. The way you design different polls at WhatsApp, similarly, you can design some kind of questionnaire here, and that questionnaire can be presented in different forms, maybe in the form of some graph, some chart, and that will be helpful for you for the better engagement of the learners during your session. Means you just need to post a question. The students, your learners, your audience will respond to your questions, and their responses will be displayed on the screen. If you want to display it in the form of a chart, that will be displayed in a line chart or bar chart. Or you want to display it in the form of some cloud, that will be displayed in the form of a cloud. Means that is useful for you for the better engagement of your learners during your session. Means that will lead to better understanding, better learning, enhanced learning. So there are many other tools like Mentimeter. You can just Google for that, and you can make use of it during your presentations. If you have some online sessions, you can make use of it. So we can design these questionnaires or quizzes with the help of some applications like Mentimeter. And it is also helpful to enhance the integration or the engagement of the learners in our classroom. So every time we should be in search of such innovative ideas or such innovative tools, which would be helpful for us for the enhancement of this teaching learning process. Yes, right. Faruqi sir has stated that teacher can engage students in lesson and collect feedback. Yes, that is possible. So during your leisure, you can visit that mentimeter.com so that you can get exposed to several usages of applications of Mentimeter. And I would suggest you people to start using Mentimeter in your presentations during your online sessions. You can make use of it. That is really a wonderful facility. Many times I use it, especially when I'm engaging some sessions for these corporate people. I use it commonly. So these are some of the things which are related to information and communication technology or its integration in education. And means simply we haven't discussed that how exactly we can make use of this technology, but we have also discussed some of the disadvantages also, some of the threats or challenges also. Means that is necessary for us, because while using it, we should make aware, we can create awareness among the users. What are the threats, possible threats, so that they stay away from those threats, and they can secure their data, they can secure their platforms in a better manner by not engaging in some acts which will be threatening to their security. So this way, I have completed my discussion about the use of information communication technology in the area of education. So, lastly, I hope you people will use some applications like Mentimeter. There are many other. You can just Google it. You will find it. And as I told you, these youngsters have started using all such applications. They use it in an effective manner. So it is recommended that during your presentations, online sessions, you should also make use of this, because that will be useful for better engagement of the learners in your session. Okay. So that is all from my side for this session. I would like to invite some questions from your side if you have any. I'll wait for some time for your questions. What do you have? Do you have some feedback session, Latra? Or do we have to end this session once we finish? Yeah. If you would like to say anything, you can post it in the chat box. Okay, thank you, Paruki sir, and roll number 51 for your appreciation. Yeah. So shall I assume that there are no questions? Yeah. Thank you, Bhosai Polkar sir. Thank you, rule number 59, 77. Professor Kalgudi. Thank you very much. Thank you, Vaishali ma'am. Thank you. So it seems that there are no queries from your side. So shall we stop here? Shall we end this session here? Yes. I'll share my PPTs. Rule number 90 has asked to share the PPT. So I'll share it with Dr. Rafe, and you can get it from him. Yeah, I'll definitely share it. Okay, so I think I should stop here because you do not have. Yes, roll number 51. I'll share it. Hmm? Yeah. Okay, so I'm thankful once again to Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Marathwada University's Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya Teachers Training Center for giving me an opportunity to interact with all the teachers like you. And I'm also thankful to all the participant teachers for the patient listening to my session. We had a interruption since I wasn't feeling well, so I had to take a break. But anyway, it was a good experience to deal with you people, interact with you people. Thank you very much. Okay, so shall I end the session now? Do you have anything, anybody from the center, Teachers Training Center, or I should stop the session? Yeah. Do you have anybody from MMTCC? Okay. Okay. Thank you once again. I'll stop this session. I'll end this session here from my side. Thank you once again.